What's going
What
on,
up? Hey,
Nyce Kicks in
what's
the building.
up? Nyce Kicks here. We are back in full effect. Yo, don't feel like we just did an episode like yesterday.
5 minutes ago, I feel
Yo,
like I
how
was just sitting
crazy.
next to you.
Yes, how crazy is that? Like, that is
Yeah,
so crazy.
the time like literally
Time be,
flies.
time be flying.
We're
And
checking into work here.
And it's so funny because I'd be like, okay, Sunday, like Sunday, I try to get myself together. So Sunday, I'm like, okay, let me get my note. Let me start. Like, I try to prepare because I know now I got to be like, all right, let me do my promotion on Monday. Like, let me get a schedule. So I'm like, yo, Sunday come mad quick. And then when
Yes,
Sunday come, I'm like, yo, it's Thursday. Like, what happened?
the time
Wait,
flies
it's
when you're having fun.
crazy. Yo, it's so crazy. Jeez, 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 jeez.
Yeah, we're here. So another episode of Nyce Kicks. Thank you all for being with us for
Yes,
another
thank you.
week. So what's going on? What's the bullshit?
What the bullshit?
What's the
Well,
bullshit?
I mean, some bullshit for me is, and back in our hometown, Boston, the kids have gone back to school hybrid. So that was very interesting because, they have two different sections where you're either in the section A where you go Monday, Tuesday, or you're in section B where you go Thursday, Friday.
Goodness
And
gracious.
my kids were in third Monday, Tuesday, so they went back Monday, Tuesday, and it went great. Like, it went great. But I know that a lot of places are putting the pressure on to have schools open up now.
Right. And I'm assuming they had to go obviously with the mask on.
Yeah, so everything is like completely different. They got to go in and out of one door. They have to wear their masks. They have to, as soon as they get in, they can do they have to do sanitation. They eat in the classroom. Their tables are 6 feet apart. They can't share tables. They can't share like markers. So it's very, very like strict, which is
Crazy.
great, but at the same time, it's very different for them too because of recess is different, gym is
Right.
different. But I'm just happy that they're back. Like, they need my kids. I can only speak for my kids, but they need to be in like live in person because remote
Right.
is not. It's not working. Like, these
Right. I
kids are
think
lost.
most kids, yeah. Like they
They're
need their
lost.
buddies. It's very, yeah, like all day on Instagram. It's strange times for sure. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know whether I'm coming one week to the next. So I just try to focus on what's happening right now.
Right.
How can we maximize on the present and just
Mm-hmm.
be happy in the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's my bullshit.
Which
So I'm
which is
live and direct from
crazy.
Atlanta.
Yes, I know, huh? You out there. That's another current event.
Yeah, it's seriously like current event is how I just get up and go and like
Did you even
I
go
gotta
home
figure
yet?
myself out.
Did you even go home yet?
No, I haven't gone back home.
Oh, you went straight.
Yeah, because I had a 5 hour layover in Fort Lauderdale, but then that morning when Danielle was like, "I'm officially going, I'll be there Thursday," I was like, "Okay, well, bump this 5 hour layover. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna head that way." And I think now because there is limited number of flights, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they're adding these extra like they're adding on layover places
Uh-huh.
um, to have less planes because they're not occupying like all their planes or whatever. That I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's how I feel because I've never seen the amount
So
of
many. Yeah.
layovers and the
Yeah.
times for the layovers. Like
Right.
some like flight from Puerto Rico to LAX was like 10 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours. And I'm like, why? It just doesn't even make
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah, that's
So
unnatural. That's very
yeah,
unnatural.
yeah. So it was a random on whim. But yeah, so here we are, Atlanta and Boston, and I'm ready for everyone to like talk their shit. Like, why you in Atlanta? Atlanta's COVID central, blah blah blah. Like, I'm already prepared for it, and I'm like this, whatever.
I think everywhere is still COVID central. And I know I was reading that a lot of states are opening up to full blown capacity. Like, Texas is one of them.
Yep.
And I think in Oregon was another one, where they're complete, full, no mask mandate, no nothing, no restrictions on concert halls, no restrictions on restaurant, like nothing. Like, they're going back to like March 12th. of last year before it shut down. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I am with that, but again, I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I just still say
Mm-mm.
protect yourself and be well.
That's all you can really do, and we've been through it. So my antibodies are present. Riding through. Hi Elsa. Elsa just
Hey,
joined live
Elsa.
on YouTube. What's going on? So yeah, that's with that. So you know how we do current events before we get into a topic, but excited about the topic this evening because we do have a special guest who will be joining us soon after we go through current events. Shauna, and she's from Boston, so that would be very exciting. She has her girls group, so yeah, we'll get into that.
Yes, I love that
Um,
very much.
so Biggie did a movie on Biggie on Netflix, and I honestly tried to watch it before the live, but I couldn't get around to it. But I heard some really good reviews, like it was an actual great depiction of his life. So I'm curious to get into that to see how they played it out because we watched the Tupac movie, and that was cool, that was good. Shout out to Erica Pinkett, who played the role in that movie. So I'm excited to see what they did with Biggie because we didn't really never get. I can't even talk. We really didn't get the ins and outs, like very deep into his life. Like they did the Notorious B.I.G. movie, but like this one sounds like it's a little bit deeper. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either. It's on my add to my list to watch. And I haven't watched it yet either because I know it just launched a couple of days ago or Friday or something like that. So I plan on watching it. I might actually watch it tonight. So
Let me know.
but I did hear and read that the reviews were really good because a lot of these times when they do the Lifetime movies, all of these things, these type of movies, sometimes it's all wrong and it's all over the place. And you have people who were part of their lives that are like, nah, you didn't really tell the story right, or you missed this, or things like that. So I know I did read that they did a really, really good job with that for him.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Shout out to Biggie. His
Shout out
birthday's
to
coming up,
Biggie.
isn't it? Because I feel like
March.
we were just last year at
Burn
TV
So Hard
or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Burn So Hard, yeah. Yeah, I think it's the 10th. March 10th is his birthday, I believe. When he died, he was 24. So like that's young.
That's
and
like Pop Smoke.
It's crazy. It's crazy because he had all them hits. He got in the industry so, obviously to us it was fast, but not to anybody that's in that situation. It's not fast because you have to go through a lot of hurdles and hoops. But he, to be 24 and die at 24, and he's still considered a legend in the hip hop game is crazy. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
He had such an impact on the culture.
For sure. Props to Biggie. There's some other movies coming out.
Coming to America too. But I heard it was only on Amazon. No, I'm excited, but I heard it's only on Amazon Prime. Or Prime Video or something.
You can take my login.
I think I have it already, but I thought it would be like a movie theater type of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of movies are coming out. I just went to the movies last week. So
really?
Yeah, they're back open. They're 40% capacity. Anything before I think 7 p.m. showtimes is 30% off. So and they're serving food, so you can pre-record. Pre-record. You can pre-reserve popcorn, food, whatever, but you don't even have to. You can still go to the concession stand. So it's open. So I went last week and it was great. So I was kind of hoping it was going to be in the theaters because I love the movie theater experience.
Right.
But I'm excited about it. It looks funny as hell. Eddie Murphy is a comedian for real. Like he's hilarious. And the fact that he's playing all these different parts in a movie, like that shit looks really, really good.
Gotcha. All Day on Instagram said that Amazon purchased the movie for $150 million.
So that's why they're only allowed to do it.
That's why it's only on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that sucks.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I hope it does justice to, Coming to America 1.
Which was many moons ago.
Whatever. Yeah.
It was many moons ago.
Right. I'm excited to see how Tiana does in the movie.
Are you gonna watch the first one before you
Coming to
watch the
America.
second one?
I've already seen it.
Will you remember it like?
Oh yeah, I remember Coming to America. I don't remember many movies,
I
That's
know.
my struggle is remembering shows and movies. But like Bad Boys 2, Coming to America, I remember like parts of it. I may not remember lines per
Yeah.
se, but I remember like the storyline.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be fine to follow along.
Sometimes I like to watch the movie. Like if they did the Black Panther 2, I would want to.
Yeah,
I would like to watch like Black Panther again. Like I like to watch the first one, especially when it's been so long. Because
right.
I'm like, okay, let me catch up. Let me kind of remember whatever. But no, I'm excited about that.
Faux show.
Shout out Eddie Murphy.
Shout out Eddie Murphy. And so like the last current event, which I spent 2 hours last night on IG Live, partly why I'm so tired because I went to bed at 4. But I got on live and I was just talking, just normal, obviously promoting Nyce Kicks YouTube today, YouTube, y'all. And so I started to talk about the situation with Nike. I don't know if you heard, but like there's a big controversy that happened in terms of a dude who was a reseller had a whole business and his mom was a VP for Nike. So I mean the story, like I still got to go through and read the article, but I read a couple of things and then we were talking about it on live because I got with Edgar. Edgar was on the live and kind of gave me the backstory. So did Bobby. And like basically it's crazy because his mom told Nike in 2018 that he had a business selling sneakers. Like she did a disclosure and they didn't find it a conflict of interest, but comes to find out like his credit card for the business was in her name. She actually Nike has a sneaker app and that's where you go in and you try to get the sneakers the day of the launches or whatever. And
for specialty sneakers.
win. Huh?
Is that for specialty sneakers? Like the app is for specific.
You
for
buy
like
sneakers
specialty?
on the app. Yeah, so you buy sneakers on the app, and it was said that part of her role involved overseeing this app. So when you think about it, it's crazy because he was buying sneakers, getting sneakers in bulk to resell them using her credit, like using a credit card in her name. Racked up, I think, $123,000, something crazy. God knows how much money he made. And then like you got the sneaker community, like what the fuck? Because we already got the bots that are buying shit.
Yes.
Never get sneakers anymore. And then to find out someone who's like actually involved with Nike, and this scandal comes out, and like she literally just resigned or whatever it was from the position.
Of course she did.
Because
yes.
like she disclosed, and Nike didn't see an issue with it. And I'm like, yo, that's white privilege
at its finest.
At its finest. Period.
Like literally.
There's no fucking way.
At its finest.
No way. So I need homeboy to send me a pair of
I cannot
Nike ones because that motherfucker is the reason why I could never get a sneaker launch. Period. It's insane. And the community's going like, wow, but it's crazy. That's how shit evolves. But we'll still have bots.
That's so crazy. Wow. I know people be going crazy over them sneakers. So I'm like, hey, when you have somebody in
hi Mark, good to see you on.
Hey Mark, what's up?
You got him on an employee discount. See, that's the crazy part. Like, he got him on a discount, probably sold them for.
Oh, on top of that, because even if you got a regular price, you probably could sell them double, triple, right? So on an employee discount, his profit margin was dope.
Yo, you in the Shark Tank. I need
Shark
Tank to like hire you and shit.
They do.
Hire you to be on the show because you watch that show faithfully.
I'm crazy. Obsessed with Shark Tank. Like obsessed. I've learned so much in business and business acumen. Like I am obsessed with Shark Tank. Like I aspire to be like them because they are. It's crazy how much money they have.
Right. Yeah. So we'll get right into the topic, y'all. So today we're talking about self-worth and self-confidence, and we're really excited to bring on Shauna, who is from our city. So she's from Boston. She does 1,000,001 things, and the best thing about her, she has a heart for young girls and kids and making sure like they have an outlet to be present and understand their self-worth and their confidence. So we definitely want to get her on for this episode, knowing that it's National Women's History Month and it's all about women. Not that it's not about us every other day, because it really is, and I need y'all to understand that. Like, it's about us, how powerful we are. But shout out to Pursuit. Got my Pursuit hoodie on. Change yourself, change the world. Because I think in terms of this topic, everything comes back to your mindset, honestly.
Yep.
So I'm
It
gonna go ahead and get Shauna on, and then we can have her introduce herself. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
You guys look so pretty.
Oh, girl.
We be trying on Nyce Kicks, you know. We trying.
trying.
Now we're on YouTube, so we're on the big
Okay.
channel, the big screen in someone's living room. So we're like, you know, we gotta get it together.
I
And don't
know.
kill me because I did a pre-intro as Shauna because you know
That's
we have a
okay.
good
She
relationship.
got baby on there. I know.
I was like, fuck. Listen, I have so many alter egos.
She got so many names, girl. I remember you had some other name too, Sparkle or something back in the day. Remember something like that? It was something like that.
Listen, I had Bambi growing up because I looked like the deer. And
The
then,
yeah.
and then that was my stage name for my singing group.
Yeah.
And then Shauna just got lost in the wind. It only came back when I went back to Boston about 8 years ago, and people started calling me Shauna, and I was like, oh my God, that is my name. Like, I gotta get in tune with that. Who is that girl? Who is that girl? And that's when I started to focus on building, like you guys are saying, confidence in young women, because I was out in Atlanta working with the entertainment industry, and I was the alter ego Bambi. I was in a 5-girl pop girl group. All my life, I've been in groups. I've always started groups, cheerleading squad, step squad, little gangs, whatever you want to call it. I always gravitated towards women and creating something together as a whole to uplift it. She got a lost the line in the house.
Okay, yes, girl. Okay.
we lost you for a second on the Wi-Fi.
It's freezing a little bit, baby.
The entertainment industry ain't all it's cracked up to be. And the way they degrade women in the entertainment industry, I just wasn't having it. As a strong Black female from Boston, I just knew better. So I knew I had to do better for the youth because I had just had a daughter. So I went and I moved back to Boston. I was like, there's nothing here that I would want my daughter to be a part of that helps her grow with the kids in the community. So I'd have to ship her out to a suburb to go to a cheerleading squad or something of this, or even gymnastics. You know, she's got to go all the way to Hyde Park, and we live in Dorchester. So I wanted to start something around the corner so I can help the girls in my community know their worth, build their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and have a mentor that they can look up to. Because growing up, I was part of Origination, which shout out to Shaumba Dominga. She taught me really well. And she gave me that drive, and I ended up becoming her. Actually, hold on, I'm getting text. And I actually ended up. Oh, my Wi-Fi's delayed.
A little bit, yeah.
Baby. A little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, honey.
It's okay, it happens. We can hear you fine. So
yes.
Oh, okay.
We'll
I was on another show earlier, and it did the same thing. I'm not sure if it's the StreamYard, because I've never been on this before.
You're so Boston, bro.
I want to. Yo, every time she says something, I want to say it back.
Yes.
So she's
I get it from my mama.
So we're gonna get through it. We can hear her fine.
Okay. So it's very important for me, as a mom of 2 girls, to display and make sure I'm holding down the business, so that when they get older, they know exactly what to do. But I am solid on my oldest, she's 12, her insecurities, building her self-confidence, knowing what a leader is, not a follower, knowing how to have your girlfriend's back, knowing what real friendship is, knowing how to show up for yourself, self-love, self-worth, and motivation. You know, a lot of people say, I don't have the motivation. It comes from within. And a lot of people look for outsources. I need a coach to motivate. No. if you don't have the drive and the motivation to do it yourself, it's never going to come about by somebody else telling you. And so meditation helps with that, and journaling, and really getting out your inner soul to a piece of paper or just quieting your mind and sitting with yourself. We don't do that. And as also as females, I'm single right now, so I'm dating myself.
Hey. Oh, you
guys heard it here first.
Hold on, wait. Let's go back, because she was like, I'm dating myself. I was like, wait.
I am going to spoil myself. I'm going to give myself everything that I thought I was to give me. I'm going to give it to myself first. And that includes going out on a date, going to dinner, but I haven't done it yet. Right. And think about it, so many women are scared to do it. Like, well, Stacey, you just pop things. So I think you just did a couple things by yourself. But dating yourself and getting to really, really know yourself. And that's what I teach my girls in my, it's called Divas Marriage. And my agency, because
they're getting a lot of kickback.
Yeah. Bam, so you're breaking up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is try to get you back on. So we'll try to get Shauna back on, guys, because you know we are live and things happen live, but we save the videos and post it, so we want to make sure it's working properly. So we'll see if Shauna can get some connection, and we'll get her back. But a good point in talking about the mental piece and like how important that is. So you, Lisa, you're someone who I view as, you know, a person who has a lot of self-confidence. Like, you can talk to anybody and anyone. Like, you're truly yourself around any person, group, whatever. You're you, right? And that comes so easy for you. So, like, what are some of the struggles, if any, that you went through to get you to that point? Or were you just always like that as a kid growing up? Because, you know, we met a little bit later in our 20s.
Yeah, no, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I think I had a lot. Well, actually, I know I grew up as a child with a lot of self-esteem issues because I never thought I was worthy enough to be loved. I was in very traumatic relationships. You know, my household wasn't the best. It wasn't as secure enough for me. So there were a lot of things that I struggled with because my self-esteem was always low, but I always had it in the back of my mind, like, nah, you're the shit. Because I had people in my life that would be like, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're gonna do this. So I tried to hold on to that as I got older and really just kind of take that in and work through the other issues around myself and talk myself through it to kind of outgrow the poor self-esteem that I had at the time. And you know, I struggled with that a lot. And I had to go through therapy. One thing that Shauna had talked about was journaling. And I journaled for so many. It's funny because I actually made a post on Instagram, and my Instagram's connected to my Facebook. So when I post on there, it goes to my Facebook. And I posted the other night, you know, my journal, and I was like, it's journaling time. And someone that I know who's known me back from college years, I haven't really spoken to this person, but she had wrote to me and she was like, girl, you're still journaling? I'm like, you remember I do that? And she was like, yes. She's like, it must be so crazy for you to go back and read your old journals. And I'm like, it is crazy because I go back and I'm like, who was that person? Damn, I was in that situation. I was thinking those thoughts. Like, look at where I'm at now. And it's such a reassurance of the growth that I've had within myself over the years when I read that. And then I look at, okay, what am I writing now? So definitely journaling and working through those. But I think just it's all about the mind. Like, it is within the mind. And I think you get to a point, and I just got to a point where I was like, I don't really give a shit what anybody has to say about me. You know, I big myself up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it can come off as like she's got an ego or whatever whatever the case is. But it's like, if I'm not doing that, who's gonna do it for me? Like, I can't rely on other people to do that for me. You know, when it comes to, we're talking about self-worth and the self-confidence, that's self. It's not somebody else. You know what I mean? It's not the other person that can do that for you. It has to really come from within. So if you're not bigging yourself up, and you're like, you're not looking in the mirror, you're like, yo, you're the shit. Look at you. Oh, shoot, I like this wig today. This wig is popping. And after this, you know, I'm going to be like, selfie, selfie, selfie. And I'm going to post. And like, I feel great about myself. So I'm just going to keep doing that. You know, so I think it is something that has happened with a lot of work over the years within myself. And I don't know if I don't know if people are born with that kind of.
No. Not, I don't think
self-worth
confidence you're born with. I think confidence is definitely learned. Shout out to everybody on the live. Anthony, I see you. Racine, what's up? Janine, Al, thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Racine. The sweatshirt is Pursuit. So hit up Brendan.
Yes.
You know, this is his line, and you know, it's really true. Change yourself, you change the world. But yeah, you know, I think for me, I look at confidence as something where you build your confidence when you build your competency, right? So there's so many different things that you need to be confident in, right? And there's different body image is one.
Yes.
Work, right? So understanding your skill set, and the more you learn, the more confident you are in whatever it is that you're doing, or the more you talk to yourself about loving your body and loving who you are, whether you're male or female, the more confidence you build. So to your point, it's like super important that your circle build you up. You have to build yourself up. It is truly a mindset thing, but your circle also has to be inclusive of building you up, so that you constantly hear that you're doing great and you're celebrating your wins. And you know, when I look at myself in terms of confidence, because you know, I think self-esteem and confidence are two different things too. It's like someone could have a lot of self-esteem and have no confidence, or vice versa. They can have low self-esteem and have really high confidence.
Yes,
because
very true.
I bucket it as I'm really confident, and I can take probably any company, right, and work with a team of people, and that company and that team will be super successful. Like, I'm confident in my management skills. That's what I've done forever and a day. We worked in that same industry even together. And it got annoying at times, but it's like, I know my skill set when it comes to running a business, you know, making plan, you know, developing ways to ensure that your people work with you and for you versus working for the dollar. And that's so important. Like, I literally pride myself so much on, you know, building that team camaraderie and building a team that can win because they want to win together. And I heard that so much in my capacity as a manager. Like, I have people to this day that call me that I used to work with, and they're like, you have no idea what you did for me when I was at XY company. And I'm like, whoa, like blown away, because like, I know I'm good, I'm confident in my skills, but like, when you hear it, it's like, wow, you really made an impact on someone's life outside of just clocking in and clocking out. But when there's other things like body image, there's areas I'm not so confident in, right? Because we have social media, you have what you tell yourself, and you guys, you, Brendan, the top two that always check me on, yo, stop talking to yourself. Just stop saying that. Like, y'all know I pick on myself more than anybody. I be looking in this camera like, oh, that eye is a little bit lower than this one. I know I got a lazy eye, and I be just really tearing myself apart. And it's like, that doesn't help, right? Because it's not that serious, and like, don't point it out. And Brendan says all the time, like, stop pointing stuff out. Like, leave it alone. Nobody knew that you had a lazy eye until you said you had a lazy eye. Like,
yes. Right. And if they saw it, so what? They probably got something wrong with them too. Girl, that's the thing. It's like, yo, everybody has something, I don't want to say wrong with them, but you know what I mean? Everybody has something that they're not like fully confident about. Right. Because then there's sometimes when people are overly confident, and I really think that could be a thing too. And I think that is stemmed from having really deep, low confidence in a sense, but you're portraying something else. But also, like how you talked about with your management skills, like, you are awesome with that. And I've seen you lead teams and make such great impact in people, not only in their work, but in their lives as well, because you have that not to be able to really like touch their heart. And it's more than just a job for them.
Right.
And it's more than just a job for you because you really go and get involved and engage so much. But that leads into how, you know, you're a big advocate for this. And I always like love this about you, where it's like, no, it goes back to where you're like, this is
Build
what
me
I'm
up. Go ahead, please. I'm waiting. I'm excited. I'm like, what did I do?
When it goes back to like your worth, because you're always like, no, I'm worth more than what I'm getting paid for at this. So I'm gonna go up, and I'd be like, yeah, like, okay, you be coming with the words. I'm like, yes, me. I need to follow you on that because you know that you know what your worth is, and you're like, no, this is what I can bring. So your confidence is so strong in that aspect where you're like, this is what I'm worth. This is for me. I know that what I need to be getting because this is what I'm bringing to the table, what I can do.
Yeah. And that didn't happen, like for sure, didn't happen overnight. And I'll get into it, but I want to read some of the comments. So Elsa said, I think confidence builds as you mature. Trying new things and putting myself in uncomfortable situations helped me through the years. And I could not agree more. And that's important. Mark said, I think we're born with confidence. The environment can either encourage it or tear it down. So I can see that being a thing too. And hi, Samantha, just joining.
Hey,
Janine, I see you. Samantha said, I think it all comes with self-awareness. Self-awareness is big, like, you know, being aware of, again, your skills and the things you're good at, your obstacles and like the things that you want to overcome, and being able to identify, you know, what you can bring to the table, what you're really good at. And so when it came to that self-worth part, that came with a lot of work. And it also came with like having that experience moment where I, you know, when I moved to New York and got the promotion, and my manager at the time was like, no, I fought for you to get X amount because like you're worth more. Like, you know, because they look at a scale. Like if you're coming from Boston going to New York, yeah, you'll get an increase of X, Y, and Z, but you would never expect to get a 30% increase over your current salary, right? Like that's kind of like, you really got to fight for that. And he fought for me. And I'm like, this person who I interviewed with for 3 hours had just met me that day, was so confident with me and my skill set. It's like, why should I not be that confident in myself if this stranger at the time was that confident in the fact that this is what I could bring to the table and this is what I could bring to the market. But so much so we tear ourselves down when it comes to self-worth in terms of monetary things. You know, people who are in the business of being entrepreneurs and they're selling things, whether it's an ebook or it's lashes or shoes, like whatever you got going on, consulting. Oftentimes people are not charging what they're worth because they don't even understand and know how to like get to a point of knowing what they're worth. And that could be hard.
Or you can be so excited because I've had, you know, a business before where I wasn't selling products, but I was doing services. So like fashion production and things like that. And it was like, well, you know, I know you, so I'll do it for this. And that's not the way to go either, because it's like, no, I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm bringing to the table right now for you. Where now it's like I'm selling products, and you know, today I'm selling, I carry my little bag around everywhere and I'm selling, and they may be like, oh, I'm buying these Ardells for $4.99. And I'm like, you know, okay, that's great, the type of lash you're wearing, but these are 20. So this is what you're going to get out of it. The quality is this, yada, 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 yada. So either like you're buying it or not. Like it's not going to be, oh, I'm giving you 2 for 25. Like, no, we're not on a discount scale yet, honey. But we ain't never gonna be on a discount scale. Like, this is what it is.
So Jay-Z didn't discount himself when he sold Ace of Spades, so we should do it to ourselves.
Right. And it's funny because I was starting it, I was like, yo, people really gonna pay this amount? And I surveyed women and I did, you know, my research to see, because I was used to spending $1 from dollar store on lashes or like, you know, the kisses or whatever, $4.99. I was used to that. I'm like, nah, I didn't spend all that money, $10, $20. But when I did the research, and I'm like, wow, okay, let me see if this works. And I was very surprised that once I stuck with that, I'm like, people buy it, they pay for it because it's about the quality and it's backing that. And also I'm selling me. So
yes, and you have to be able to sell yourself, because people buy into people before they buy into a brand. like they buy into who stands behind that brand. Like I went and bought Alicia Keys Soul Care skincare line. One, because it was Alicia, yes, but two, I knew that she struggled with acne for a very long time. So it has to be a good skincare line, right? Like why wouldn't it be? But it was the face that actually got me to say, let me try out this product before the actual product. Right. So that definitely helps. Absolutely. Al said preparation is what.
I'm like, let me get some confidence, some confidence, girl. We both. Al said, preparation is what gives you confidence when you know you are prepared to succeed. We just talked about this earlier. Remember before? You have to believe in yourself. The doubt comes when you don't know if you're ready. Greg Anthony. Okay, you quoting. Okay, yes, I love that. Stand strong. Janine said, yes, girl. I'm gonna need you to get some lashes too. Go support Mood Lashes by Lisa Marie. Mark, why do a lot of small businesses refer to anything they do or have as little? My little bag, why it have to be little?
Right.
Did I refer to as little?
No, I mean, I think he's just asking the question. You know, Mark's good with the questions.
I know he's good. Yes, he is. Very good.
That does happen. It does happen, and it doesn't need to be little. Or like, say, for example, someone's Instagram name or whatever is like so-and-so _ Black Lives Matter or BML, whatever, BLN. Or there's black in there. Like, why do you have to put that in your name? Like, I think it goes along that same line. Like nothing should be little about what you're presenting if that's not how you really feel, because you're going to be perceived as it's little.
Yes.
Oh, he said you did. You said I walk around my little bag. Oh, your little bag of products to sell.
Oh, my bag is little though.
You meant in size.
I meant literally.
Whatever.
I meant literally, honey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The coins is not little. I meant literally the bag is little. But yes, I get what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. And the mind is so powerful. Like it is.
I wish it would bring me a good man. Like, can my mind just be that?
I mean, yes, if you manifest it, if it's
I'm just joking. I don't want man.
Well, if you want whatever you want, if you manifesting it and it's literally just constantly like you shut your eyes and you see it. That is totally manifesting it. You put a picture of it on the wall. You write out what you want and you post it up and you look at it every day. That is manifestation, and the mind is everything. And I think that when it comes to someone who's building their confidence, it's all about what you tell yourself. Right. In your mind, because it's so hard to go down the road of, well, I ain't shit, or I'm not, you know what I mean? Like whatever you want, whatever you tell yourself, it's very easy to go down that road. It's hard to come off of that when you're talking to yourself. And today I posted on Facebook because I was actually earlier having a hard time with something. And I think I don't know exactly what I wrote, but I wrote something like, it's uncomfortable when you can't wrap your head around, like something with the mind. I don't even know exactly what I wrote, but it was something around that, because today I was having a hard time. Where yesterday I had a great time with my mind, but today was rough.
I had a great time with my mind. That is so funny. And so all of our viewers, we'd love to hear from you in terms of what you struggle with when it comes to self-worth or self-confidence, and we'll piggyback off of that. But I wanted to bring, so Forbes.com had said confidence is the outcome of the thoughts that we think and the actions that we take. And I was like, that's perfect, because it's so true to your point of like our thoughts. And like the mind doesn't know I think it was like a good memory from a real memory from a false memory or something like that. So like if you think about something that really happened or you really wanted to, like it happened, it occurred. And then you think about something that you want to happen, your mind doesn't know the difference. So speak to yourself in the things that you want to happen. And you'll see yourself, that will start to happen to you. It's sort of like manifestation, right? And with the obstacle, like there's this girl, Cece, I'm gonna look at my notes, Cece Olisa, I think is how you pronounce her name, but she had like 4 steps to figuring out how to overcome the obstacle of like lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, because she's a bigger woman. She's Black, and she was bigger, and she always wanted to get into like entertainment, be a keynote speaker on stage, speaking to people, being in plays like Broadway, all that stuff. And she always used to get, she's so good at acting, but her body image and her size wouldn't land her the role because it just didn't fit what people would perceive that particular role, that person to look like. For example, there was a role where she had to play making out in the backseat of a car, and they were like, well, with your size, it's impossible that you even fit in the backseat of the car, so like you can't do that role. And I was like, whoa. So like her balloon started to deflate versus get bigger because she was getting shut down all the time. So she said, there's 4 steps. So identify what you perceive as the obstacle. So what is it that's holding you back, or what is it that you find is challenging to get you to the point where you want to go to help build your confidence? And then imagine what your life would look like if that obstacle were to disappear, right? So for her, again, it was the body image. She's been bigger all her life. She's never been she was born 10 pounds, so she's always been a bigger girl. So she knew that she wouldn't be skinny ever, but she imagined being skinny, taking photos of a full body, her full body, doing her dating profile of her full body versus just a headshot. And then she said, address the perceived obstacle. So then she addressed like, okay, here's what I'm struggling with. I'm going to face it head on. What's going to help me build that confidence to face this head on? Right. And it's still going out, trying to get the roles and be on Broadway, which so have you. And then choose to live the life you imagined, but live it today versus like trying to live it tomorrow or the next day. Like live in that moment now. So if you want to be, a model and you want a very slim figure, like live that today versus like waiting to try to obtain it, because the more you wait, it's never really going to happen. So I thought that was an interesting way. And she said, fill out the ending of this sentence. My life would be perfect if, and that will help you identify what your obstacle is. So like my life would be perfect if my teeth were straight. That's an obstacle.
See,
so
me and you, we like to agree to disagree. I love everything that she has in there. The only thing,
it's not mine. I'm not taking it personally.
No, I know. The only thing that doesn't sit with me is I wouldn't feel comfortable saying my life would be perfect, because I don't believe in perfection in a sense. So I don't think things are perfect in a sense, because there's always going to be a jagged line. I don't ever think that life is a straight line, and I think it definitely can be a jagged line. So I wouldn't say my life would be perfect. My life would be enhanced, or I don't know, whatever the fuck I would say.
Yeah,
but
I think it's the mind trigger.
Strong word. Yeah,
the mind trigger was perfect. So there's like, it's crazy. So like body image, like that's a big thing for people. And like now with social media, you're looking at all of these like Instagram models or these perfect bodies, or even people who work out and just are fit and like into fitness. And it's like, you could be there too if that's what you want. You just have to want it bad enough. Like you have to want it for you and not want it because you think someone else wants to see you with a nice body or fit. Like you really have to yearn and want it to make it happen, and you could. But I think just going to the gym, like when I got back to the gym, that helps with confidence
your mental health
lot.
And your
like
confidence.
You feel so much better about yourself. Like one, you got the fuck up out the house and went. So that's a huge accomplishment for people who don't want to even go and walk in the gym. But I know for me as a woman, sometimes when I walk in the gym, I'm like, oh shit, everybody's watching me and I don't really know how to work this machine or whatever the case may be. And like half the time, more than half the time, those people are not even paying attention to you. Like they're doing their workout, they're on their grind. That's their why. They in there. Like they don't even care what the other person next to them is doing. So it's all up here, and how we're tricking ourselves to believe that things are bigger than they are. And it's having that, that scarcity mindset that really doesn't help us get to the next step in life, and having that fear for whatever reason. Like if you want to start your own business, like the lack mindset, scarcity mindset of I don't even know the resources to get there, versus like you can figure it out. There's so much stuff.
Let me YouTube. Let me Google.
Fail.
Yes, exactly. There's so much stuff, especially nowadays. Like there's so many things that you can do to do anything. You can go YouTube anything. Like shout out to YouTube right now because legit I could type in legit anything and it will come up how to do it. It's crazy. Um,
Mhm.
you can Google anything. Like it's out there. You just have to put your mindset to try and do it. And it's the fear of the unknown for a lot of us because we tell ourselves the story in our mind that we believe, and then you
Mhm.
just stick with it. And it's like that might not even be the story, you know? So the fear comes from just the unknown. Where if you can overcome that, then just go right for it.
Right, right. I feel like Mark is becoming part of the trio, and it might be the Libra vibes because literally his comment that he just wrote was something else that I was gonna get ready to talk about. That's so funny.
I can't take a compliment while I get real awkward. And you can't. I don't know why. I mean, not
That
you,
is
Mark, but I
like
mean, we could talk about that, Mark, too. But Stacy cannot take a compliment that well, which is so crazy to me. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think it is for you? You think it's
I
fake, or is
no,
it
I don't. I
like
don't think it's fake. I think it really goes back to my own mindset and how I feel almost about myself, maybe, and like
mm,
wanting to
mm,
always come to the forefront of saying, like, again, that scarcity mindset, like the lack mindset. No, oh, you think, does it look good? My hair looks nice. Oh, thanks. I still need a trim. Like, there's always something
you
like
do
quote
that? I
unquote
hate when you do
negative
that too. Yes,
that
I hate when
comes
you do that.
out anytime I get a compliment. And it's like,
Mm,
figuring that out is one part, right? And I think to Elsie's
mm,
point earlier, it's about growth and not perfection. And I
mm.
think in terms of just my own personal life, and if you follow Nyce Kicks, like this isn't anything new. I have my moments where I'm like, yo, 12 days ago, I feel like a great new person and I'm on a wave. And then, 12 days after that, I'm like, you know what? I really should think about mentor, like getting a good mentor, getting a
Hmm.
therapist. And like,
And there's
I just
nothing
had
wrong
this
with that.
conversation
Hmm.
about therapy, and it's like, okay, so what is it about therapy that like scares you or makes you feel like you don't want to do it? And I'm like, I feel like they're bullshitting, like they're just sitting there
Mm-mm.
listening to me, but like they don't really care about me. Like I'd rather tell Lisa, I'd
Mm.
rather tell one of my friends, and like I know they're gonna listen or they're gonna give me advice so they care. And it's like there's something with that like mindset that's keeping me away from connecting to a therapist, but I
You have
know
that
there's a
guard
lot of
up.
healing, right? There's
Yes,
a lot
there's
of
that
healing
guard
in
up.
there.
And the
Yep.
therapist is for you specifically, I'm going to tell you this now. The therapist is there who is a professional who is going to be able to, like, yes, you can come to me, we come to each other and I'll give you advice. I'll give you the real, Brendan will give you the real deal, all of that. But the thing with the therapist is they help you to help yourself uncover stuff and work through that. That's the
Right.
crazy shit. It's like, yo, I just realized that shit because I'm not able to do that for you. I can just help you through the moment and like give you advice. Okay, do this, do that, da 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 da,
Yeah.
and give you the real honest truth. But the therapist is gonna help you uncover that within yourself. Like they're trained to do. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also too, I was in
Were you
terms of
giving
my
compliments
family,
as a child?
anytime I went around, it's like, oh my God, you're so pretty and blah 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 blah, like, which is great. Like that's nice. Like I like that, but it always made me feel a little awkward around like my relatives because it's like, is anyone else getting the same thing? Or is it just like all this? It was just too much attention and I didn't really like the attention. So now it's like getting a compliment. I'm like, how do I deal with that? Where'd you go? I think we lost Lisa, guys. Maybe we lost her. I don't know. We'll see what happens if she gets back. But yeah, it's to your point, Mark, it's definitely something to
Can you
work
hear
on.
me?
And I can hear you, I just can't see you. I was listening to a woman on
God,
YouTube
what
talk
the heck?
about that same exact thing. And she's like, now we have to just
Okay,
get
I'm
to a
here.
point. You pressing buttons.
No, I didn't. I was getting a FaceTime and I need to make a post to people to not call or FaceTime me or anything while
Oh,
I'm
that
on
was
my
me pressing.
show. Like that's messing it up right now. Oh my God.
Yeah. So Mark, I will look up who it was that I was listening to, but she basically made a point of saying like, you just have to take the compliment for what it is and learn to say thank you and appreciate that and celebrate more wins and celebrate more accomplishments. And then you'll get in the habit of changing that mindset to not want to, rebuttal. For me, for example, want to rebuttal back when someone's like, oh, yeah, I like your hair, it's grown so much. And I'm like, yeah, it's grown, but it's a little dry. So, I'll send you that information. I'll be promising y'all some information on Nyce Kicks all the time.
But you don't be giving it.
Just DM me if you don't get it.
But you know what? It's so funny because I grew up the same way. And I grew up with, oh my God, your daughter's so cute. She's beautiful. She's so pretty. And I think I've taken that on in a different aspect where I'm like, okay, I almost expect it. Like, and that's just the crazy piece about it. But then that plays into some issues I've had growing up about it because I always feel like I have to make sure I'm a certain way. My mother was always like, you can't walk out the house looking crazy, sweatpants out the house, like you need long hair is not like the crazy shit growing up. So that plays into a whole other part of it. But I think I've taken that piece of listening to people and really and taking that in to build on my self-confidence versus
and so for the guys, I'm curious to know, like, in terms of the men, because we can easily talk about women and like their self-worth and their self-confidence and the struggles that we go through even now, not being paid the same as a man. Like there's just so much. But like for men outside of, because Mark did a great job throwing in there, the example of not taking a compliment well, like what other things that guys go through or that we've seen in guys that are either lacking in self-confidence and self-worth, or guys that are really good at having their self-worth together and being super confident.
Right. And you said, Mark, it protects you. I intentionally don't believe the person so I can't get played. But how is the compliment getting played? Like, how
remember you asked me if I thought it was true or not. If someone gives you a compliment, like, is it just them either trying to have a conversation or just having something to say? Like maybe they're not genuine. But the vulnerability piece is really big. And people struggle with being vulnerable. A lot of us do. We had the Zodiac episode and talking about Gemini. Like when we have conversations, if we feel like, I know this rings very true for me, I'm not sure all Geminis, but if we feel like people are judging us as we're having a conversation, like we shut down and kind of don't speak. Or like I'll talk to certain people about topics and things, and I'll feel really good about the conversation and like what I'm talking about. And then something they say makes me feel like, all right, now they're judging me, and then I just won't finish the conversation. So being vulnerable enough to just be open to accepting compliments, accepting feedback is important and major. But in terms of like men being confident, dressing, how you look is how you feel.
Absolutely. 100%.
I really believe that. So
like if I feel like shit, I'm gonna go outside looking like shit.
Right. Well, you mean if you look like shit, you're gonna go outside feeling like shit?
No, if I feel like shit, I mean both, vice versa.
Oh, well, yeah, I see what you're saying.
But sometimes if I feel like shit, like if I wake up and let's say, I don't know, my menstrual cycle came and I'm like, damn, I gotta go to work, and I feel like shit, I'm not putting on the lashes. I'm not like putting on the hair. I'm probably just gonna put it up in a bun, and I'm just not gonna be myself, for that day. So it depends.
But that's like a good mindset thing. Example too, right? So like, say you do feel like shit, you got your menstrual cycle, like for the women out there, you feel like it's not a good day, but like, let's say that could in fact be the case, but you change your mindset to say, this is what I'm dealing with, but I'm gonna control what I can control. And one thing you can control is how you look and how you put yourself together. And then you put yourself together, you feel really good leaving the house. I guarantee you, like, the menstrual cycle is not gonna matter anymore. You're gonna feel slightly better, if not a lot better, because it's just how you internalized your feelings and your thoughts. It's like when you wake up, when they say you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, when you wake up, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Are you meditating? Are you saying a prayer? Are you being grateful? Being thankful, feeling blessed? Or are you like, fuck, I gotta go to work today? And then like, that's the attitude that carries on. So it's mindset is major. Yeah. With all these things.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Any other points you want to leave for the crowd?
Well, I want to give some tips for building self-confidence. Look at what you already achieved. You know, that is huge. It's easy to lose confidence if you believe you haven't achieved anything. So if you believe, again, I go back to the I ain't shit, mentality. So look at what you've achieved in your life from where were you 5 years ago? Where were you last year? Where were you 10 years ago? To where you are now, and break it down in different aspects. I think we sometimes take our life as a whole and dump it into one bucket, where actually life is multiple buckets. And sometimes you can fill one bucket and sometimes the other bucket is not as full. So you have to decide, maybe work is good, family is good, but money's not good, or your body is not good. So break it down into personal, finance, health, mental health, all of those things. And that's where you want to look at, what did I've already achieved over that time frame. Think of things that you're good at, because everyone has strengths and talents. I don't care if you can curl your right toe to the left side, it's a talent, boo. So whatever it is, all of us have a strength and all of us have a talent. Look at that and play off of that. You may think it's very small, but it could be really big and like an aha, like, oh shoot, to somebody else. Like, wow, you can do that, or that's what you got going on. Set goals. Definitely set goals for yourself. Talk yourself up. And that's one I love. Like, talk yourself up. Tell yourself, I'm this, I'm that, I'm beautiful, I am worthy, I am great, I'm the shit, I have the best personality. These are things I tell to myself, y'all, so y'all can see what I be telling myself. But talk yourself up. And then another one is get a hobby. Having a hobby takes you out of the daily routine of life, having to get your kids up, going to school, getting up, going to work, that daily routine, having some type of hobby that you can really look forward to and enjoy, that will also help build your self-confidence. It's an attitude, guys. Self-confidence is really about an attitude, about what your abilities and your skills are. I'm like, what are you typing? Absolutely. Shauna, I'm like, what are you doing?
Waiting. So Shauna's been waiting, I guess, in the waiting room, but it didn't pop up. So she texted me and I'm like, oh shit, it didn't even show that anybody was waiting in there. So I'm trying to figure out at least how to get her back in. But I can't figure it out on the iPad.
Oh shoot.
Sorry.
Okay.
French. We are live.
We are. Yes, we are.
I see the comments, but I can't see the room to get her back in.
I don't see her on my end either.
Do you have a guest button at the bottom?
I do. It's an invite a guest.
Click on the guest.
That's for me to be able to copy and clipboard it, but then I would have to get out of the whole thing to go into. That's why I saw you text me and I couldn't go open it.
Shauna on another episode to join us again, because we are live. So I'm like, it's live happening.
I know it. Yeah, it's okay. It happens. It's all right. So yeah, and definitely, self-confidence is important to both your physical health and your psychological health as well, guys. When you believe in yourself, you're more apt to try new things. You're more apt to devote your time and energy to tasks that matter in your life. You make good lifestyle choices, and you're able to really foster healthy relationships in your life with a partner, friendships, family, all of that. So self-confidence can really help boost all of those areas in your life.
Thanks.
Well, all right.
She's been in the waiting room the whole time and it didn't show up. I feel so horrible. But we'll get Shauna on another episode. It is, as we said, Women's History Month, so we'll look at the schedule for the rest of the month and definitely get Shauna back in.
We definitely need her on, yeah,
so she can drop some gems
because her mentor program is amazing. What she's doing for these young girls out here, absolutely amazing. So I definitely want her to get out there and talk about that. If I had a daughter, she would be in that ASAP.
Fact.
One thing Mark says, which is just popping up, what men from our culture struggle with is emotions. We're taught to shut off most of our emotions and grow our egos. Absolutely. How strong you are, how big your dick is. I can fuck up anybody, but ashamed to cry, won't talk about depression, etc. Yeah. You have this masculine.
How big your dick is.
It's not about how big the dick is, it's about how you work the dick. Let's just put that out there now.
Well, hold on now.
No. Okay.
Hold on now.
See, here you go. You're playing into Mark's point. You're playing into Mark's point right now. You're playing into Mark's point.
I am. All
right. I didn't say it had to be big, but it depends on how well you work it. It don't gotta be. I mean, and it can't be small. You gotta feel it.
See, now my iPad's completely messed up because I can't even see the comments anymore. This is a disaster, y'all. This is what happens when you go live.
All right, enough about dick and enough about all of that.
That's for a different episode.
That is, I always want that episode.
We know, and then all of our viewers on Nyce Kicks knows.
Cheers, y'all. Cheers.
What Lisa wants to always talk about.
I have a lot of self-confidence in that.
We know, and everybody's probably missing just the Tip Tuesdays, so we gotta get that situated and figured out.
We do. It needs to be just a tip every day.
Yes.
All right. I'm being crazy, y'all.
Listen, so I hope that everyone watching gained some kind of insight on self-worth, self-confidence, whether it was understanding our personal struggles, Lisa and myself, or figuring out ways that you can get better if there are areas that you struggle in when it comes to self-worth and having confidence and self-esteem. I think, we're in a time right now where it's so important to just kind of reflect on who we are as individuals and what we like to do and what makes us happy. And not worry about so much everybody else around you and the outside noise that can be so detrimental to you living like your most abundant life and being who you are and genuinely authentic with yourself and what makes you tick. So I hope everybody out there takes a moment to just look at the areas that are your skill sets, things that you're really good at, big yourself up whenever you have the opportunity to, be more gentle and loving on yourselves, talk to yourselves in a positive way. I'm going to practice that myself because I need it. And
you are beautiful and amazing.
Thanks.
Look at you. That was so uncomfortable for you right now. I can tell.
It is, but I'm working on it. It is like low key. Every time you say it, I'm like, working on it. We all got things to work on. Change yourself, change the world. Shout out to Brenda and Pursuit. Listen, we love y'all.
We love y'all. Yes. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week. Same place, same time. Peace. Now, hopefully I can end this because my computer's, my iPad is a mess.
I think I can do it. Love
y'all. Thank you.